Welcome back to the channel, everyone. It's so good to have all you here. Now, as if you noticed, today is a little bit different. I've decided to pull out the good old Potato Cam 9000 over here and actually show myself on video for once. And the reason I want to do this is because I feel really animated and passionate deep inside my heart about today's topic. If you read the tag, then you know we're about to have a very lively conversation about the best topic ever. That's right, aliens. And you know, your boy D over here got you covered. So let's start off and go back a few years to the year 2017 and talk about this space phallus, which somehow found it to our corner of the Milky Way and into our solar system. And the object in question here is named Oumuamua. I believe I'm pronouncing that right. It showed up from outside the solar system and was like, and then quickly went away, never to be heard from ever again, until this guy showed up. His name is Avi Loeb, an astrophysicist who dared to ask the unthinkable. And what did he ask that was so unthinkable? He asked a simple question. What if this thing is of extraterrestrial origin? And of course, everybody reacted just the way you expect. In a calm and soothing way, they just all said something along the lines of, "Cool story, bro." And everything was quickly forgotten. And nobody ever mentioned this again because all of King's horses and all of King's men actually were able to put Humpty Dumpty back together again. Oh, but oh wait, because I forgot the key detail in all this entire story. We live in America, baby, right here. That's right. You ain't just gonna go around and say something like this and not have everyone and their dog freak out over it? Because quickly, this story and everything, it hit like every major headline and every major newspaper, all across the United States. And if you weren't living under a rock and paying attention, headlines just like this started popping up everywhere. Object that whizzed by Earth probably came from alien world, Harvard professor asserts. This Harvard professor being Avi Loeb, who asserted that, Oumuamua was in fact, or he hypothesized, I don't believe he asserted with certainty, that Oumuamua was just, hypothetically could be an extraterrestrial thing, which the scientific community took as, oh, you must know that it's an alien spacecraft. And like I said, he mentioned here that his ideas aren't popular in the scientific community right now. Talking about potential extraterrestrial intelligence is out of the mainstream, and it should not be. So got chastised quite a lot for his hypothesis on this phallic-looking object. And all was good and well. Everybody picked their sides in the scientific community and the mainstream and everybody else abroad until and that fool, you might be wondering, is what hides under the beds of most libertarians when they try to go to sleep at night. I mean rocks. They don't have beds because, libertarians want us to go back to caves and trade rabbit furs for gold dust. I digress, because it is important for one simple reason. And that reason is, as stated in this following article, that the boogeyman, aka the government, also has no clue how to explain 143 sightings, which remain, according to this, as unidentified to this day. Which, just like the scientific community, they are hesitant to use the word UFO, instead referring to these things as unidentified aerial phenomena. Interesting. But, as I said, I don't blame them for using this, because the word UFO does tend to have conspiracy theory meanings, and I don't blame them one bit for this whatsoever. Now, little side note, I don't really believe in conspiracy theories, around this especially, and not because of what I call the libertarian paradox, which stipulates that the government is the stupidest, smartest thing, all at the exact same time. Like, no, I don't believe that. Because you can't look at the government and be like, they suck, and then turn around and tell me that there's ultra-organized, ultra-secretive, top-down conspiracy at the international level, and there's this cabal of streamed advanced influence. Like, give me a break. It's either one or the other. I have a hard time believing that it's both. Anyways, the reason I don't is because it would be really, really, really hard to hide that kind of technology as associated with UFOs, because the amount of years, research, and effort it would take scientists and engineers to design the technology that's that advanced relative to our civilization type, which we're like not even 1, we're like 0.5, would be insane. And we live in a country where it takes literally billions of dollars and over a decade to produce a crappy antidepressant that still gives people a leaky anus. But the real reason this has me concerned is actually because I genuinely wish that there was a conspiracy, because then that means that someone, somewhere, actually knows what's going on. The reason I really think that aliens will eat our booty hole, and not in a nice and fun millennial sunshine and rainbows kind of way, but more like the bloody, gory demon apocalypse kind of way, is because I have actually because of what I've actually seen from the scientific community, especially after watching Joe Rogan's podcast with Neil deGrasse Tyson from May of this year, where the mere shred of a tiny suggestion of there being aliens was immediately ridiculed and ruled out completely, as if to say that if for certain there are no aliens associated with this. And I personally believe that like people like Neil deGrasse Tyson are kind of like the voice of the scientific community, like kind of like the unofficial representative of what goes on, and kind of helps the public digest the inner workings behind all the madness and craziness that goes on over there. And personally, I'm not saying that there are aliens. Unlike the scientific community, which is quickly, pointed out several times, quickly points out and rules that out is even a hypothesis that's plausible. Now, I'm not saying that there aren't aliens with absolute certainty, and I'm not saying that there is. I'm not looking at a Oumuamua and saying that's definitely extraterrestrial, because we don't really know for sure. We have never probed it, we've never looked at it, we've never gotten close to it. You know, we kind of saw it with our caveman eyes and used a pair of glorified binoculars, and then we reasonably assumed that it had no extraterrestrial origin. However, at the end of the day, this is the real reason I don't think any of our booty holes are safe from thorough and rough alien-themed probing, is because we live on a very complicated, divided planet. Climate change has turned our environment into Satan's ass crack. There's 195 countries in the world. There's probably going to be more before there'll be any less. And a simple virus comes around, and the first thing we do is we hoard toilet paper. Lord forbid we face the apocalypse with a dirty butthole. So, it gives you a lot of hope for the future of humanity against something as advanced as an alien incursion. But yeah, that's kind of my take on the matter. So, as said, if you enjoyed the video, thank you for staying tuned all the way to the end and tuning in, my curious and lovely friends. And I will see all of you later.